What's up, everybody? Welcome as well. This is not the barn. Once again, we are today at Mesa Pizza by the Slice in Dinkytown, Minneapolis, and I am here with my homie, Bionic Jones here today, munching on some pizza. I want to say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Say some more.
I am DJ Bionic Jones, and yeah, we're at Mesa. I've already almost completely eaten my slice. It's delicious.
So what kind of pizza did you get today?
Just your classic pepperoni with some crushed red pepper flakes on there.
Notice you loaded the pepper flakes on pretty heavy this time.
Yeah, I like to live on the edge a little bit, so...
You like it spicy?
I do. You know it.
I just for those of you interested today, so we've been going around town. This is technically part 3, but this could be your part 1, as Dags had just called out a minute ago. But first pizza I had today was a pepperoni, which is where Nick's at right now. Second, that was at Devani's Pizza, and then we went over to Cassetta's in St. Paul. And at Cassetta's, I had a plain old sausage pizza. You met Greg there, Greg online, Plastic Boxes, North Innsbruck. So this time around, going with something a little bit more unique, a little bit special. The macaroni and cheese pizza. It's pretty tasty. Highly recommend it. At some point, get on down here and give it a shot. So, North Innsbruck, you've already heard a fair amount about me, but if this is your first episode, I am a dark synthwave musician. Been doing this since about 2018 or so. And how I met Nick was at the 3rd ever North Innsbruck show at a venue that has since burned down, called the Hexagon Bar and Grill. And I'm curious, there's some questions that I've got for Nick, things that I've maybe never asked before. Maybe I have, and I just wasn't paying attention. That's what happens. Friends, right? So I got to know, Nick, what got you to that Hexagon show, that concert where we met the first time?
Well, I had been searching for quite a while for, synthwave type music around, locally. Hadn't seen a whole lot before. I think I did see some sort of ad for a show that you did at Barely Brothers, probably previous to this one.
Yep.
But I forget why I couldn't make it to that one. And then so once I saw your other one, I was like, oh, well, shit, I'm definitely going to make it to this one. And I went, and I remember it was like you. I think you might have been the last one, actually. I can't remember, but I think it was like Nick
Vivid.
Nick
from
Vivid,
New York City.
yeah. And then the sewer. Unholy Rat King, yeah. So he did like a modular type set. Yep. It was cool. So, yeah, I saw you there, and then I think we reconnected the next time at a Magic Sword show, yes. Droid Bishop show or something at 7th Street Entry.
Which I have no memory of actually meeting you there, but I handed you a sticker.
I think so, yeah.
I believe. Yeah. There's
and
a lot
then,
of people
I'm not really sure what happened after that. Oh, yeah, I think maybe I saw something about Nitrowave meetups.
Yeah.
And then I started going to that. Or I talked to you guys also. There was a Amsterdam show that some of you guys did.
Yep.
And I went there and talked to you some more after that. And then, I don't know, I guess I just figured if I kept showing up and people would maybe accept me into their fold and we could have a real, synthwave community. Because at that time, my goal was to DJ some like synthwave music. Because the only other person I knew that did that was Noah Kaufman in town, and he was on. And
he goes by the Electric Touch.
The Electric Touch, yeah.
Yep.
And when I moved here, that's like. He had a really great radio program on The Current, I think it was.
So we met anyhow. We had some fun and all that kind of stuff. So since that time, you've been integrated into North Innsbruck in a very non-traditional manner, in a sense, something you don't often see with bands out there. Why don't you fill people in on how you kind of got integrated into that, what you do, and in a little bit we'll talk about maybe more about what that future looks like. So tell us how you got to where you're at and what you're doing now.
Well, as far as doing the visual effects for North Innsbruck shows, I think that kind of came around during the COVID time still, when there weren't any in-person shows and you were doing like it was like Synth Valley Stream Fest, or maybe the one before. I don't remember.
Melodic Noise Media hosted a show that we were connected to through a guy that goes by the name of Graybeat, our friend Robin. And then the second show was Synth Valley Stream Fest, and one was shot in the basement of my townhouse that I was living at the time, the first one. The second one was shot in the house I live in now, in fact, down in my basement studio. So
true, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that was, I don't know how that really, I don't know. I must have talked about how I was doing, video synth stuff with you before that, and then we just gave it a go for that online show, and I thought it looked really cool. It seemed like other people thought it looked cool, so we just kept doing that, and I just enjoyed doing it. So we thought, or Chris thought it would, be really cool to integrate that part to be, up on stage. Usually it's, kind of hidden back with the soundboard and everything. People are doing it back there, but it just kind of adds this cool, live dynamic, and it's kind of funny because people see me like up there pushing buttons and assume I'm also playing music, and sometimes they're like, "Hey, you were really great up there. How did you write that song?" I was like, "I didn't do any of that. That was all Chris. I'm just making the lights blink and playing like little clips of horror movies and stuff." And
well, tell us a little bit about what video synthesis is. That was actually a pretty new thing to me. I didn't really know that was an art form.
Yeah, I didn't either until several years ago. I went to like a workshop, and essentially it's you take a video signal and you can alter it in any number of ways using little circuits that can mess with the what do they call it? Oh shit, I can't think right now.
That's all right. So
circuit bending.
Circuit
Sorry.
bender,
Yeah.
circuit bending. So where do you find these things though too? Because that was another piece of it that I thought you were making these devices yourself, but you're actually finding them in other places.
Yeah, there's a number of really creative individuals out there who make them. There's this guy in the Netherlands where I bought my first one, Geiskies or something like. He makes the 3 Trins Plus, amazing little circuit to mess around with things. So that was my intro, and then I got a Critter and Guitari IC. It's just a digital box actually, but it's really cool. Adds shapes that are audio reactive. And then, let's see what else I got. Oh yeah, some other little like Raspberry Pi based, software based ones called like Wave Pool and Gravity Waves. This really smart mathematician and programmer, like I think in New York, makes it. But yeah, just look up Wave Pool or Gravity Waves. Those are really neat. And then this other guy, Tachyons Plus, TACHYONS Plus. He makes some really cool things. I got a Vortex decoder from him. And then just, like random open source software. Jumble that all together until it looks neat, and, voila.
Very cool.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Stuff from me. It really is. It's an art form in and of itself, and I think circuit bending and really kind of to a certain degree bending light, altering light is something that you've brought to our shows and our performances that is very unique and brings an interesting topic of conversation to people who come to the shows. Because your point, people will walk up from time to time and will ask, tell us about your involvement in the music, but you're able to bring a whole nother aspect of the conversation to people really into the technical work of what you do that really seem to enjoy it. In fact, people really connect with what you're doing, which is pretty special. How did you I don't think you've already touched on this, but how did you get into that art form?
I don't know. I think I was thinking that question might come up, so I was thinking about that today, and I think it may have all started way back when, they tell you to watch like Pink Floyd with Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah.
And so that whole marriage of, good or weird music to visuals that somehow, help your imagination roam while you're listening to it. I think that's always kind of appealed to me from a young age. And then, just like trippy computer screensavers. I used to like stare at those while listening to music.
Like a Winamp?
Yeah, any like old school music visualizer. Even like iTunes, but yeah, Winamp for sure, definitely. Yeah,
I miss those. Those are magical. Actually, it's funny you say that.
Yeah. And then just seeing like people sync up cartoons and stuff to hip hop. I don't know. I've always really liked that art form, I guess, and I wanted to mimic it, I guess. And then I saw like people doing glitch art where they would just totally put in throw in these crazy effects like static.
Tell us a little bit about. Before we get to the end here, what's coming in the future for you? What are you working on?
Just doing a bunch of shows. I'm integrating some old-ass security cameras, hopefully, so that I can video the crowd and the stage and mix that in with the horror movies and all that stuff that we're playing, just to add a new integration of, the audience feeling like they're a part of the visual experience and the whole experience in general. Seeing themselves projected up there, I think, would be neat.
That'd be fun.
So we'll see how that goes. Experiment with that, and
Cool.
a lot of shows.
That's good.
I'm just I think Bionic at Instagram and
Yep.
Nick Jones on Facebook. So.
And if you swing by the North Innsbruck Instagram and other social media sites, if Bionic is available on those sites, I always link him in photos and different types of videos and everything as well. So definitely check him out. But like I said in the last interview with Greg as well, swing by northinnsbruck.com, swing by our Spotify, our Bandcamp, our SoundCloud, any other sources of social media really to that point, and give us a follow. Please share our music, share our visuals with your friends, with different people around you. It means the world to us as independent artists. And that said, we're going to wrap things up. Thank you so much, Nick, for the time today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.